But let's talk about all of the individual cues that you should track as well before we get into this trading session. We have Vivek and Surbhi here with the trade setup and all of the stocks that you should have on your radar today as well. Guys, a very good morning to both of you. Vivek, let me come to you first. Yesterday, once again, we ended below that 19,400 kind of mark, and it looks like the start will be a bit in the red. But take us through all of the cues that we should watch.
Well, absolutely right. Like we mentioned, the overnight setup or the overnight handover that we've received is actually quite subdued, and that is indicating a muted start for our own markets. Overnight, most of the US indices ended in the red. Nasdaq managed to eke out a small gain. Crude oil prices yesterday, however, did see a small dip. So yesterday, Brent futures went down 0.5% closer to the $84 a barrel mark. Indian markets yesterday largely lackluster, range-bound session. However, the real action lay in the broader end of the markets, with the mid-cap index actually hitting a fresh lifetime high. Along with that, we are actually seeing quite a bit of activity even in the primary market. So that's where some of the focus too is. Aeroflex Industries yesterday saw very strong subscription. Just on day one saw oversubscription, and even Pyramid Technologies, oversubscribed almost 18 times. When you're talking about listing today, an important listing, TVS Supply Chain. After a long time, you will see a company from the TVS group, coming onto the bourses. And today, one company will report its results as well. Procter & Gamble, Hygiene and Healthcare, will report its results today. That will be an important one to watch out for. Asian markets and GIFT Nifty are indicating a subdued start for our own markets.
Okay, subdued start. Let's see how things really go from there. Vivek, thanks a lot for getting us all of those cues. Let's also talk about some stock-specific action that came through, because there was some important news that we got post-market close yesterday. Surbhi.
Thanks so much for that. So the first one on my radar is Brightcom. Suresh Reddy and Nagayan Raju have been barred from holding any key managerial positions. Jio Financial will also be on my radar. BSE has postponed Jio Financial's removal from indices as the stock hits lower circuit for 2 consecutive trading sessions, and it will be deferred by another 3 days if it hits lower circuit for the next 2 trading sessions. So important to watch out for that. BEML, the company bags an order worth 101 crores from Ministry of Defence. RITES will also be on my radar. It emerges as the lowest bidder for a project worth over 65 crores. And Linde India, the company has received an LOA from IOCL for setting up an air separation unit. Now the company will be funding this capex through its internal accruals.
All right, Surbhi, thanks a lot for that entire list of stocks. Finally, let's also bring Nigel in. He's looking at all of the cues from the futures and options space. Nigel, we ended quite flat for the frontline index, at least yesterday. Take us through how it's looking this morning.
Well, that's right, Pavitra. Yesterday, the big action was in the broader markets, actually. But the reason that the Nifty ended flat was because in the final hour of trade, you had the Nifty Financial Services Index that played out the expiry. So that picture tells you the story. There is some overlap between the Nifty Financial Services Index as well as the Nifty Bank, and both of them ended at the low point of the day. Coming back to how the FIs are positioned, well, they're still net short. Yesterday, there was a mild movement on the open interest, so the country remained at close to 57% net short on the index futures. On the option side, you had the 19,400 call, 19,450 call. Both of them added a fair bit of open interest premium, between 25 to around 50 rupees approximately. Now, if you're looking at the highest open interest on the call side, post that addition, the 19,400 call, well, that has the highest open interest on the call side. While on the put side, you have it at around 19,300 or thereabouts. The premium out there is closer to around 30 rupees. So just plug in those numbers then. You're looking at the near-term resistance at around 19,450 approximately. That's for the day. So yesterday we went to 19,440 and we did a U-turn from there. So that's one important level. On the downside, you're looking at the 50 DMA. And since the 19,300 put has the highest open interest, positioning is such that the 19,270 odd level should hold out. The GIFT Nifty suggesting we pull back a little bit, 30 points odd to kickstart trade. I'll tell you what, I've been saying this all of the last few days. It's a scalper's market. If you get to buy a deeper intraday dip, you need to square off your position once you get a bit of a bounce, because the next day you don't know what's really coming for you. And till we are in this range, I think that scalper's trade will continue. Buy the intraday dip deeper as possible and try to square it off on that day itself if you get a bounce. Otherwise, keep a stop loss in place. Back to you.
All right, Nigel, thanks a lot for getting us all of those cues on, how the trading session could really pan out and everything we should watch as well. But with that, let's get into our first short break on the show. When we return, like we told you, market regulator SEBI has issued an interim order in the Brightcom Group preferential allotment matter. All of the details when we come back.